remember what it's like to be a little kid? To look up and your parents aren't there, and that feeling of anxiety that comes over you? Well, that's what it's like every single day for 2.7 million children who have a parent in prison. Every day they wake up not knowing where their mom or their father is. Every day they don't know what's going on in their life, and they know that their father doesn't know where they are and what's going on in their life. That's what this book is here to address. It's here to help those kids realize you're not alone. It's okay if you feel this way. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be angry, but it's also not going to define you. My name is Jeremy Gregg, and I'm the creator of Daddy's Time Out. This is a book that explains incarceration to the 2.7 million children who have a parent in prison. It's like in the free world, there's good people and bad people, but everyone in prison made a bad choice. And just like when you make a bad choice, you're not necessarily a bad kid, but you made a bad choice, and so you need to go to time out. And when you're an adult, time out is jail or prison, but it's still just a bad choice. I came up with this book about 10 years ago when I was volunteering in prison through the Prison Entrepreneurship Program. And when I'm there at the event, I'm speaking to these kids and speaking to their parents. I use this analogy, your dad is here because he's been in timeout, just like when you guys make a bad choice. And there were some parents afterwards who told me that made a lot of sense for them. And I realized this is a much bigger idea than just a little way for me to help people, help my daughters understand what I do and help people in this room understand what they do. And so I'm really so happy to be able to share, with the help of this community, share this story with children who have a parent in prison. One of the things that really drove me to start this project was that those children who have a parent in prison are about 3 to 4 times as likely as my own kids to go to prison just because their father is there. And I believe a lot of the reason that they have that occur to them is the self-identity that they're given, is the description of who their father is. And this book is aimed at changing that self-identity that they have. It's a way of giving them a different narrative for what's going on in their family. And if they can realize that their father made a bad choice, but he's not necessarily a bad man. So this book is an attempt to give those children the gift of a different identity. Because the goal is not simply to produce books and get them in the hands of kids. The goal is to change the culture of incarceration that we have created, which is centered on the very real crime that was committed and the victim who's an aspect of that, but the collateral damage that goes on with the families of those who are affected.
Daddy's Time Out. Okay? So it says Daddy's Time Out by Jeremy Gregg. It's the same as our dad. So it says, my name is Chris. I'm not a bad kid, but sometimes I make bad choices. When I do, my mommy puts me in timeout. When I was little, my timeouts were short. When I was 2, they were just 2 minutes long. Now that I'm 5, he's 5. They are 10 minutes long. Did you know sometimes grown-ups go to timeout too? They do. Their timeouts can last a long time, sometimes years. My daddy is in timeout right now. He made a bad choice and had to go to a place called prison. He was there for over a year. He even missed the holidays. Daddy is going to be in timeout for a long time. He is going to miss my next birthday too. I'll save a piece of cake for him when he comes home. I'll put it in timeout in the freezer. He's putting the cake in timeout. Do you remember going to visit your dad?
Yes.
Do you know where we went? No. Unfortunately, we had to go to prison too.
You had to go to prison too?
Mm-hmm.
That was prison?
Mm-hmm. He should be getting out in the next couple weeks. And so we'll be able to see him all the time. But that's where we went. So he made some bad choices and he had to take a time out. Make sense?
That makes sense.
Daddy's Time Out, right now we have a partnership with Big Brothers Big Sisters. We're going to be providing copies of this book through this project to children in Big Brothers Big Sisters who have a parent in prison. We need your help to make this happen. We cannot get this done without you and without the money that we need to produce this book and make sure that Daddy's Time Out can get in the hands of children who need it. So please consider making a gift to the campaign. Help us to help these amazing children so we can give them a better ending to their own story. If you're not in a position to give a gift to the campaign today, what I ask is that you help share this story with others. Put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram, put it on LinkedIn. Help us to share this story with people who can invest in the campaign, because there are 2.7 million children depending on us.